Welcome to Two Chicks and a Horror Flick, a weekly horror movie review podcast. I'm Tawny Ray.
And I'm Felicia Connor. Subscribe to get new episodes every Wednesday. We dive into trivia, drink a little whiskey, and of course, give our no BS opinions.
Join our Discord server or message us on social media to talk all things scary.
And if you like the show, consider supporting us on Patreon.
You can find all these links on our website, twochicksandahorrorflick.com. Thanks for listening.
Now let's get scared.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Next up for our horror romance movies, we have Freaky from 2020. But before we get into all that, Felicia, what are you drinking?
I'm excited about this. And hello. And hello, Tawny. I missed you. I'm trying something new. So Katy Perry and one other woman, and I'm so sorry I forgot her name, created this non-alcoholic beverage called Desoy. And they're aperitifs. So they're kind of like wines and champagnes and sparkling wines. There's only 3. And so I got the 3-pack. And the big thing about them is they have like botanicals and adaptogens. So like the mushrooms and stuff that help you get that feeling. And I was really on the fence about trying anything, honestly, with adaptogens. I think they're perfectly safe. But what I've realized in my life journey is I have a very addictive personality, addictive to those feelings ever since I was really young and, was struggling and taking like over-the-counter medication to numb myself and all of that. Long story, not for today, but I just noticed I have that. So I was always really nervous to take anything that kind of changed my mood or altered my mood, especially if I'm trying to cut back, limit, cut out alcohol.
Yeah.
And so anyways, one day after a long week, I was like, I would really like to feel mellow though. And my yummy mocktails is just not cutting it. So anyway, now we're back to this. They have like a 3-pack, and this one I'm having today is called Golden Hour. And I think it's supposed to be like a, probably like a white wine sort of flavor. Okay. Yeah. And it's the taste is, I had the red one yesterday. I think it's something loon, but it's like, I think supposed to be like a red wine.
Okay.
I think they're very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think they're very good. It's a very interesting flavor. The red one was like, I was telling Steve, it's almost like a spa. I don't know. The smell is like a spa. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, just try it. And he was like, oh, that's pretty good. I didn't think it was going to be because of the smell. But the reason I like them is because usually non-alcoholic wines is just like super sweet grape juice.
Yeah.
So these have a different taste to them that makes it to where you feel like you're having maybe like an adult beverage.
Okay. I'll be interested to hear how it goes. I mean, did you feel, because that sounds like the first time you had it last night, right?
Yeah.
Was there any noticeable change?
Yeah, I think I did feel, it's hard because I wasn't stressed out, but I did feel calmer. And how I explained Steven is like, I feel like, yeah,
okay.
That's how I feel. But I didn't feel altered in any way in the sense of I noticed it. Like I felt, I don't know how to explain it. It was just really, I felt really calm, but I felt very alert.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the best way to explain it.
Interesting. I know like when we tried Kin, that was like not very good taste-wise.
No.
Yeah.
I've tried Kin, I've tried Monday, and I've tried many different types of non-alcoholic wines. All of them were yuck. But this I like.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. How about you?
I want to say that I was inspired by you, so I made a mocktail. Not for today, but a few days ago. And so found a recipe online, and I just like tried to look up something that we had most of the stuff for already. So it was like an orange mocktail because it was like orange juice, lemon juice, simple syrup, mint. I think that was it. Oh, apple cider vinegar also in there.
Oh, yeah.
So made a couple of those, and they were good, but it was kind of sweet. So I think next time I won't put the simple syrup in it because I think they expect you to like squeeze the orange juice, but we just had like regular, orange juice in the bottle. Be a
little bit sugary.
Yeah, so I think we probably overdid it. It was a little sweet, but I'm excited to try that some more. It was cool to have like mint in it. It felt kind of fancy.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Have you found? Well, I don't know. I haven't drank since. It's been a week now. And I found mixing those mocktails and drinking them, I feel it satisfies that wanting of a cocktail. It was just the other night where I felt like stressed and had that thought in my head of, I would like to feel relaxed.
Right. Unfortunately, I would have made one of those today, but we are out of orange juice because I drank it all. So today I am actually drinking you can't really see it because it's in a mug now, but I got a decaf oat milk latte on the way home.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
Yeah, I love decaf oat milk lattes. It's got to be from the right place, but we have this little coffee shop called The Human Bean, and they make a really, really good latte. So
nice.
That's what I got going on, and water.
I love it.
What have you been watching, doing, listening to?
All right, Missy, I've been working my day job. I don't know if you can tell, but I have made so much headway on my office. All my Stephen King books are out and behind me. There's only a few boxes, but book-wise, all my books are up.
Nice.
I got 2 bookshelves for Valentine's Day. They're all full. Everything is set up, so I'm stoked about that.
Nice. Where are the other bookshelves? Are they in your office?
I do have 3 little bookshelves here, and then out in this like main dining room area are the 2 big bookshelves.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I spent so much time making sure they go from high to low to high.
Nice.
This is fiction. This is this. And Steve was like, I would be done already if you had me put, and it would look terrible and it would have no rhyme or reason. So.
Right. Yeah. you got to do something. You got to group them. I do it by color. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
by size.
Oh, that's good.
By type. You got to do something.
Yeah. They're my treasures. I love these books. Okay. So I have watched 2 things I wanted to mention. The first thing is we've only seen 2 episodes of Tulsa King. And we were just like, what should we watch? And we saw Tulsa King. It's with Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
I believe it's on Peacock. And somebody was telling Steve, if you like Breaking Bad, you'll like Tulsa King. And I was like, I don't know about this, but it was cute. It was funny. It's a cute little funny show about this mobster who has been in prison for the last 20 or 25 years. And now he's out. So things like, if you think about it, 25 years ago, there wasn't an iPhone the way we have iPhone.
Oh, right.
So it's like everything is different. So it's funny. And Sylvester Stallone does a good job.
All right.
And the only other thing I want to say is because, and this is for the safety of all of our listeners, 10 to Life with Annie Elise, that true crime show that I listened to. Today I listened to the episode about Kara Robinson, and it was so amazing that I usually don't share, the different episodes that I listen to, but this particular one I think is worth a listen. And Kara Robinson was, as a teenage girl, kidnapped, but she got away. And it was so incredible because things that you don't even think of, but I think it's really important is, so for example, if someone's going to snatch you and they have you at gunpoint, you guys kick, scream, fight, bite, fight. That's what my kids know what to say, because you don't want them to get you behind closed doors. You'd probably rather be shot than be behind closed doors. But she ended up being kidnapped, but she thought of like everything, like she was memorizing the turns because she was inside like a bucket or not a bucket, but a bin in the back. And then when he took her out, she looked at his fridge as she was in the house. She's looking around because he had like doctor and dentist, the magnets you get from your doctor and your dentist. So she saw who his dentist was. When he allowed her to go to the bathroom, she saw long red hair in the brush. So assumed he was married, saw something with him being in the military. Like she had the wherewithal to just be like, okay, I know what happens. I'm probably going, that and possibly murdered, right?
Yeah.
It's, probably that's why, men kidnap teenage women or teenage girls. So I am going to, in case I survive, gather all the information I can. So when I escape, I can tell somebody. If I escape, I can tell someone. And she did.
Oh, fucking
and it
amazing.
led to his capture.
Wow.
And he was a serial killer. All the different places that he had killed young girls, and they were able to link it to him.
Wow, that's amazing.
Such an incredible story.
Yeah.
And now she's out there just like spreading the word. She has a TikTok and Instagram, and they did a Lifetime movie about her, and she's like spreading story and awareness.
Wow, that's neat. You should definitely drop that link in our Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will.
Is it on TikTok or YouTube? I don't remember.
It's on YouTube. Her channel's on YouTube. But she also does like mini shorts on TikTok. And Elise does mini shorts on TikTok. She also does stuff on Instagram. But the full show is on YouTube.
Yeah, you should definitely drop that in there. Which reminds me that I need to drop our Bones and All links, which I have not done for days now. So I'll do it today. Wow. Okay. What else did you have?
That's it. I mean, we watched the recent Last of Us.
Last of Us. Oh my God. This is such a great show.
It's a good show, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
How about you?
For me, that reminds me, I did watch an episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh yeah, which one?
Okay, of the most recent season. You know this because we just talked about it, but just so everybody knows, because now I feel like you're on my journey with me, and so I feel like I need to update you. We put in an offer on a house this week, did not get it, kind of sad, trying to just keep spirits up. Maybe something will happen and we'll be a backup offer for that house. Maybe we'll find a different house that's good. Maybe we won't buy a house at all, but we'll just rent a house, okay? But I'm trying to vision us in a house this year. But that was, I tried to stay positive, but I definitely had a little bit of a pity party, if I'm being honest. And so that night, I think I was like, I just want to watch something that I'm going to get distracted by, right? So I looked through all the Unsolved Mysteries episodes, and I didn't want to watch like a true crime thing. So I was like, oh, the ghost in the apartment. Great. I'm ready for a ghost thing.
Oh, no. That's...
I know. I was like, I did not sign up for this, but saw it through because it ends up being about a fucking murder and a kidnap and fucking torture over it. I was like, this story, people know this story. This is the one where he kidnaps the woman and keeps her in like a coffin-sized box underneath the mattress for fucking almost 10 years, the whole decade. Wild.
Yeah.
Fucking wild story.
Yeah, what did you think about? Well, I guess we can't get into it, but like it's things like that make me first of all, that murder case that was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was like the box on the head and stuff
like
that, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. But then the way that the mom and daughter were describing the paranormal element of it makes you wonder, like, is this real? I mean, that really happened, but like the paranormal stuff was kind of believable and curious.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced at first, right? I was like, I don't know. But then like some of the details she gave were really close, and the police like took it in from her. I mean, we're kind of ruining this episode, but like whatever.
There we go.
And that was crazy to me. I was like, I have so many thoughts, but one of them was like, if I was experiencing this, I don't know that I would go to the cops, because then that would make me like suspect number one. Like how would I know this information? I must have been involved some way, and I don't want to be fucking put away for something that I didn't do. But my main I had so many questions. My main question was, this bitch, the second one, Colleen something, I don't remember her last name. You're telling me she escaped after a decade and then just like went about her life? Like she didn't go to the cops or anything.
Yes.
Which I'm not trying to victim blame but I'm like, what happened? Did you just go home and your family's like, where the fuck have you been for the last 7 years? And you're like, no biggie. Like, what? Yeah. I don't know. They did not explain that.
She lived with him and like helped kidnap that girl and everything.
Yeah, I'm talking about the girl, Colleen, because those two escaped together, his wife and
that's
Colleen.
Right. I'm sorry, I saw it so long ago. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, so they left. They fucking booked it out of there. And then they just were like, I think both of them went to their parents' house, like their respective parents' house. Like that is, I don't know. I couldn't, maybe the episode wasn't long enough to get into all the details of it. And so maybe there's more about this somewhere, but I just was like,
hey, I just made dinner, babe. Where have you been? Cool. Let's just go about.
Yeah. Did she lie
for you?
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, watch that. Watch The Last of Us. The only other thing that we're watching is Andor. We started it because Justin recommended it to us and was telling Jade that it's really good. And it took me a little while to get into it. I was like, I don't know, Jade, I'm not really loving this because I'm not really like a big Star Wars person. But we finally got about like 3 or 4 episodes into this. And I'm like, okay, finally stuff's coming together. It's becoming a little bit more about the politics, you know, the subtext, the like some of the script is like really, really good dialogue. So, and it's got a lot of good cast. Stellan Skarsgård is in it, who Jade called Daddy Skarsgård, and now I'm like, that is hilarious to me, and that's how I will refer to him now, because he is the father of all the fucking Skarsgårds.
That's fun.
But yeah, that's it. It's still been very busy, and obviously with looking at and trying to put in an offer on a house, it's been a chaotic week, so.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, we ready to get into this movie?
Yeah, we're ready. Y'all ready for this?
Okay. Again, we're talking about Freaky from 2020.
Mm-hmm.
The director and co-writer of this is Christopher Landon, who I didn't realize that I probably am a fan of because he wrote the screenplay for Disturbia, Paranormal Activity 2, 3, 4, and wrote and directed Paranormal Activity: The Marked Ones, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, and Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You.
Wow. Quite a list.
I know. Very impressive. So then for cast, we've got Vince Vaughn as the Butcher, Catherine Newton as Millie, Celeste O'Connor as Nyla, Misha Osherovich, I think, is Josh, and Uriah Shelton as Booker. I didn't do everybody. There is kind of a big cast in this. IMDb gave it a 6.3 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 83%, and Letterboxd gave it a 3.2 out of 5. Then for budget, the number I found was $6 million. I don't think this is right. It had to have been way more than that because Vince Vaughn alone.
Yeah, they just gave it to Vince.
Yeah.
Everything else was out of pocket.
So that's what it says on Wikipedia. I don't think that's right though. Box office was $18 million, and part of the reason why it's so low, I think, is because it was released during COVID. So it just didn't do very well at the box office. But I feel like in general, people really like this movie. Like, I haven't heard a lot of bad things about it. So, okay, any other thoughts before I get into the 2 minutes with Tawny?
No.
Okay.
Except that when I posted on social media, I was watching it, I got a lot of people saying, oh, I never heard of this.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
It must have just, like, flown under the radar.
Yeah, I never heard of it either until you brought it up, and I
Really?
love Vince Vaughn. Yeah,
That's weird. I feel like I saw it everywhere. Like, I feel like the marketing for it was, I don't know. I remember it being a deal.
I was drinking a lot in 2020.
I mean, fucking same. Okay. So I'm gonna do our 2 minutes with Tawny. Turn back now if you don't want this spoiled for you. The movie opens with a group of teens talking about local legend, the Blissfield Butcher, who happens to be at this home right then. Very timely. He slaughters all of the kids and leaves with a dagger called Ladola. Millie is a timid high schooler who has a couple of best friends, Josh and Nyla. She's bullied by the school's mean girl and has a crush on Booker, one of the jocks. When her mom is late to pick her up from the high school after a football game, the Butcher attacks her and stabs her with the Dola. He receives a wound in the same place as her and is chased off by Millie's cop sister, Char. I keep wanting to say Char, because that is how it's spelled, Char.
Char.
The next morning, Millie wakes up in the Butcher's body and vice versa. The Butcher in Millie's body seems to recognize that he can more easily kill people because he looks like a teen girl and goes on a rampage through the school, killing the mean girl and Millie's terrible woodshop teacher. Meanwhile, Millie makes her way to the school to convince Nyla and Josh, which she eventually does. They do some Google research and find out that if she doesn't stab her body again with the Dola within 24 hours, the body switch will be permanent. They capture the Butcher and end up with Booker, who they also convince that Millie is in the Butcher's body by revealing that Millie placed an anonymous poem in his locker. Booker tells Millie that he's liked her since day one, and they share a very awkward kiss. Their next order of business is to get the dagger, which totally gets botched, and the Butcher ends up with the dagger and heads for the homecoming dance. The teens are right behind him, though, and ultimately Millie stabs her body, reversing the swap. Police show up and shoot the butcher before transporting him to the hospital. On the way, his vitals flatline, and they believe him to be dead. Millie goes home with her mom and sister, but the butcher breaks in and attacks Millie, because he's not dead. The three women fight back, and Millie kills him by shoving a wooden stake, table leg, not sure, through his whole body. And then he did. The end. All right. Felicia. What did you think about this movie?
Okay, so I thought this movie was really cute. It was a cute movie. I love Vince Vaughn. I don't think I've seen anything where I didn't like Vince Vaughn. I don't know if necessarily I was a huge fan of the movie itself, but Vince Vaughn's performance, I am a fan. I love him. I love how big he is, like how tall he is. Okay. I love, because it's always like a thing.
It is funny.
Movie, you know, how big he is. I love the way he delivers comedy, because he always kind of does it in the same sort of way with all of his characters, you know? Yeah. I love him. I'm a huge fan, if I haven't made that clear. So that was always good. I'm also a big fan, I realized, of body swapping movies, because I love Freaky Friday. Big with Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Trading Places, Face Off, 13 going on 30, and The Change Up. So I just find it hilarious when people switch bodies and have to be in that other person's life and has to react. It's my favorite part. Okay. And so I did enjoy that. I enjoyed Vince Vaughn the most. I thought everyone did a good job. I liked Millie and her friends. Yeah. They were so cute and funny. I really liked Vince Vaughn acting like a teenage girl.
Right. Very funny.
It was great. But pretty much, I feel like the other movies, there was a period of time where it was lulling for me, and but I thought it was very cute, and probably a little bit more because Vince Vaughn was in it and I like his comedy. But that's how I feel about it overall. How about you?
Okay. All right. I just want to say that I have seen Vince Vaughn in one thing that I was like, oh, God, he's doing a bad fucking job. It's The Cell.
Oh, see, and I haven't seen that. So maybe I won't.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I ended up really liking it. Really, really liking it.
Oh, okay.
It's got J-Lo in it also, I think.
Oh, yeah, that movie. Okay, I haven't seen it, though.
Yeah. It's a really good movie, but you could tell that it's like really early in Vince Vaughn's career. And so you can see like a huge progression. Like it's interesting to go back because he's like a really good actor now, but I think this is one of his earlier movies. And so I was like, man, this is rough.
Maybe I will watch it so I can say only one movie I've seen where.
Yeah, only one. I think you'd really like it. We should fucking do it at some point for an episode.
All right.
Anyway, yes, I really like this movie, and I didn't like it as much, I think, the first time, but it's one of those movies that, like, after I watched it and then I talked to people about it, I feel like I liked it more talking about it. And so now watching it a second time, I like it more. I don't think I was like, I don't think I liked it as much as other people on the first watch. So, but I think it's really funny. I like the concept. I really feel like it's got a lot of good stuff. I feel like as a movie, it's not like very deep or anything, but it has heart, you know, like our characters are dynamic and have good, I don't know, relationships with each other. Like I really liked the dynamic between Millie and her mom and her sister. I felt like it was really real. I teared up like a handful of times watching it, which doesn't usually happen, but I was just like, this is so good, you know? And like the conversation between her and the mom in the dressing room was really like heartfelt. I really liked that. So yeah, I really enjoy it. And this isn't like, you know, we talk all the time about like not loving horror comedies, but I chose this one specifically for the romance part of it because I was like, it does happen. It's not a huge part of the movie. It's obviously not the centerpiece of the movie, but it happens. And I feel like it's cute, you know?
Yeah, I giggled a lot in this movie. And that scene of them kissing in the back seat was funny. It's very, very cute.
Yeah. Very fun.
Like when he wakes up, he's so good. When he wakes up, he wakes up and as Millie in his body, and that homeless person comes in looking for drugs. He's like,
yeah,
do I look like a teenage girl?
Yeah.
It's like, you are on drugs. Or when they have the boy that she's interested in, they have Millie's body, so the butcher, tied up in a chair.
Yeah.
And then her love interest is sitting there, and she's sitting there talking. I love that whole exchange of her trying to explain to him, and she's like, pay attention to me. You know,
Yeah.
it's Vince Vaughn. He's just so big, and the way he's talking. And then when she's like, do I ever dress like that? I mean, I like it. I mean, do you like it? And does the little thing, like where he bites his fingers. God, he did just such a good job.
That's one of my favorite parts too. It made me laugh so hard the first time. He's like, have you ever seen me wear anything like that? I mean, do you like that? Never mind. Doesn't matter. Like, I don't know. I thought that was really good. Yeah, the immediate wake up too. I forget what he says or she says right in that moment, but just like, oh my God, hello? Like,
oh my God, why do I sound like that?
Yeah.
Why do I sound like this? It was so cute.
Oh God, it's so funny.
It's silly with the whole, the magic knife and shit, but it's intentionally silly. That is what it is. And that's how you switch bodies, always. I think it's Freaky Friday where they get switched by a fortune cookie when they're out to dinner at the restaurant. And there's got to be some type of magic conflict that switches them both. So I thought that was well done, especially because it was like an ancient artifact stolen from the house. So
I liked that. I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I haven't seen any of those fucking movies. I think I might have seen 13 going on 30, but I don't remember anything about it. Yeah.
Freaky Friday is our favorite with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan when Lindsay Lohan was teen.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It's because she switches, that's her mom and daughter.
Yeah.
So they switch bodies, mom and daughter, and it's just hilarious. Have you ever seen Big with Tom Hanks?
No.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. That is such a great one. Oh, I can't say anything about it, but you should. It's so fun. Everybody out there, you want something lighthearted and fun. Watch Big with Tom Hanks and Freaky. And I think Big in specific, and if you see, I'm not giving anything away because it's what it is, but he makes a wish to be big. So it's still him, but he's a grown man. He turns into a grown man. And so he has a kid inside. He is a kid in a grown man's body. And it's just so funny and cute to see how they think. And he did an excellent job in that too.
Nice. Okay. I'm going to have to get on some of these body swap movies.
Yeah. I think it's just always so curious and funny about how you now have to navigate that person's life. And it was always something interesting to me too, where you always thought, gosh, I wish I knew, like if I was to say that right now, I wish for like a minute, because I've seen enough of these movies to know you don't want it to be too long, in my daughter's body. So I knew what she was thinking and what she was dealing with. So I could better communicate with her, know how to, help her communicate with her. But yeah, so it's a curious idea.
Yeah. Yeah. The concept is fun. And I do feel like this is really similar to Happy Death Day because it's like, it's in the same vein, right? It takes a concept like this and applies like a horror comedy, I don't know, look and feel to it, I guess. And it's really fun. But yeah, but it doesn't seem like it was doing it for you overall. Like there was something about it that you didn't like.
No, now that I'm talking about it, I think I did like it. No, I did like it for sure. Because now what I was just going to say, I really liked the death scenes. They surprised me. Yeah,
they were like shockingly
gory. Because it's a horror movie, but
the
way it comes out, it's almost like I was mentioning, Freaky Friday is almost like this fun teenage comedy, horror comedy, but they were graphic. It was good. Steve watched it with me and I don't think he was a fan. He kept looking at me like, this is ridiculous. But I was like, wow, that was a really good kill. Like when you stuffed the wine bottle down the boy's throat and then broke it. Just things you never have seen before. It was really good.
I liked that too. Actually, I think that was inspired by a different kill. There were like a ton of Easter eggs, and I didn't know what movie that was from, but it was like inspired by different movie kills.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen that one. But I think overall, I did like it. It wasn't hilarious. So I think that's why I was like, it was cute. It was funny.
Yeah.
It didn't have me just like,
Yeah.
cracking up in, and it was silly in places, which was intentional.
Yeah, I think so too. Like even with Steve being like, this is ridiculous. Like, yeah, it's totally meant to be. I feel like it's really tongue in cheek and it knows the movie. You know what I mean? It's really self-aware of it. I don't know. I like
places like, where it, like, for example, where Millie in Vince Vaughn's body is like, no, I'll go in there on my own. It's just it's too dangerous for you guys. No, we go together. It's just very, what am I trying to say? Would it be tropey or
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. What typically happens. Those were the moments where I was kind of like,
yeah.
Like whatever. I wasn't like emotional about any of it. But I loved, Vince Vaughn. And I also loved her two friends.
Yeah, I feel like
funny.
The whole first chase scene when she's like in his body chasing them through the school and they're like trying to fight him for a very long time. Yes. And he's like, stop it. Like, that was very funny to me when he gets to the point where he's like, okay, we're all tired. Like, let's stop hitting and start talking.
Yes.
Very good. I only have like one problem with this movie, and for me, it's the final fucking thing. I really don't like that last dumb line right into the camera where she's like,
I am a piece.
I am a piece. I was like, okay, I don't know. I hate these. I hate them. I just wish people would stop doing them. I hate this, and I hate like final jump scare type things. They're just dumb to me. And this was like such a different fucking weird callback. Like, I just didn't understand it. It was like, it would have made sense to me if she had said something about like being strong or something. But no, we're going to go with I'm a piece. I am a piece. I don't know. It really was like the one thing that I was like, get it out of here, dude. This is weird.
I didn't particularly like that whole last sequence of them hitting him with things and that whole last fight with all three of them. At first, I felt like it's a little bit hokey. I did like the kill though. When she stabbed him through the chest, that was real good.
It did feel like really tacked on, didn't it?
Yeah. Like maybe when they did the screening, everyone was like, oh, they don't like that. They wanted him to come back like typically murderers do in these movies. And so then they tacked it on. Yeah, it was weird. And then he was talking so much when he doesn't really talk that much, as we know, because when he was in Millie's body, all she did was really grunt most of the time and like say one word answers. And now he's like, hey, blah, 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 da, da, da.
Yeah, I lied when I said that I only had one problem, because this is my other problem. Like, I have two problems, and it's the end, and it's this, that I do think both of them as characters aren't super consistent when they are in doing the body swap, right? Because you're right, he's very quiet, he doesn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, sometimes he's like really talkative, or he says things that you just don't feel like this person, because he escaped from like an insane asylum, right? Basically, psychiatric hospital. He escaped from a psychiatric hospital, and he's like living in a fucking like totally abandoned warehouse. And some of the stuff that he says when he's in Millie's body, like, just doesn't track. He seems like he's like a silent killer. And so exactly when he's back in his body and he's like talking a lot at the end and he's like trying to make her feel bad, I don't know. It just did not feel consistent with what they had set up so far, because he seemed like a silent, like, he's not really there to like fuck with his victims. He's just there to kill, you know?
Exactly.
But I think the same is true for her too. Like, when she is in Vince Vaughn, sometimes she says things that I just don't think were consistent with what I feel like we got a sense of her in the beginning. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
it does.
I'm butchering my words, but you know, like when she, the one example I can think of is when she finally convinces them and then she's like, handshake, bitches. Like, I don't know. It didn't feel right.
Yeah,
it didn't feel right.
She was so mousy.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Timid.
And didn't ever even when she was just chilling with her friends, she's like, I don't know you guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, you know, a little bit more verbose. They were like saying funny things and stuff. And she seemed, like the more just quiet, reserved friend. Like she was like, I don't know. And so there were just weird moments like that where I was just like, this doesn't feel right, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There's one line, I wish I remember what it was, but it was the friend. What was the friend, the guy?
Josh.
Josh. Okay, I thought so. Josh, was it when they were when he was driving and he was like, they were like screaming at him, go, go. And he was like, this is only my third day driving. Or was it like, this is my first car chase. What do you expect from me?
Okay.
He had so many great little like one-liners.
Yeah.
It's so hilarious. Really well done, too. I thought he just acted really well.
Me too. I really liked when his mom comes in and Millie's tied up in the chair and he's like, we're role playing. And she's like, isn't that some kind of sexual thing? And he's like, I've been meaning to tell you this for a long time, but I'm straight. And she's like, Joshua, you are a lot of things, but you are not straight.
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on right now. That was really good.
Yes. It was so good. Lots of really funny moments.
See, that's what I'm saying is like, I feel like when you watch it the first time, you're like, all right, you know, but then when you think and talk about it, it gets better. It's like one of those that's just like fun to reminisce about.
Yeah,
I guess
I would watch this again.
Yeah.
Because it was funny and cute. And it was, you can tell that it was intentionally hokey at times, like all of the teenage tropes, but it was intentional.
Yeah.
So it did not bother me at all.
Yeah. And I feel like it's really kind of one of those like shiny, fun popcorn movies. Like I know that it dragged a little bit for you, but I feel like it's well paced. It is pretty short. I think it's like an hour and a half. Like pretty standard movie length. It's just like fun. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah. And let me take that back. It didn't drag. At no point did I feel like, oh, is this almost over? No, not at all.
Oh, okay.
It was only those moments like I had mentioned where he was like, you guys stay out here. It's too dangerous. And they're like, no, we're friends. Where I was kind of like, okay. You know, like, but okay. It didn't feel like it was overly long or anything like that. Not
gotcha. Okay.
And I did like the people that he ended up killing.
Yes, that was nice.
Oh my gosh, how great. So that one teacher was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off years ago. If you've ever seen that, he was Ferris's friend. He did such good, gosh, he was such a scoundrel.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The teacher was from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm sure he's done other things since then. He was a teenager when he did that. That's the one thing I remember. And those football players, like, we're so happy they all died, you know?
Yeah. Some of the moments in this movie are really serious in a way that like I don't think I was prepared for. And so I think that's the other reason why the second watch I was better prepared for them. But like these two people, they're so fucking mean. Well, they're not two people, but like the woodshop teacher is such a fucking asshole to her. Mm-hmm. And I didn't think it was like wildly, I don't know. I was like, I could see a teacher being this shitty to a kid. Like if you already have a predisposition to not like a kid, I don't know. The way that he was talking to her was like incredibly mean, but I felt like it was realistic to some degree.
Yeah.
And so it was like really nice to watch that guy get his. Like you were like, fuck this guy and the mean bully girl and the bullies, but they were like obviously trying to rape her. You're like, Jesus Christ, is so scary.
Asshole.
And so it's one of the things though that I like about this movie is like somehow you are rooting for both people sometimes, even though this guy is like obviously a mass murderer and he's trying to hurt our protagonists. He's also hurting people who are shitty to her, you know, like inadvertently. And so you're like, all right, go ahead and kill all those jocks. They sucked.
That's really interesting because it's not like he hates, you know, it's not like he's a good character or an avenger in any way, but these are the people that are forcing themselves into her space where they're teasing her, they're going to rape her, whatever the case is, assault her. And so they are the targets instead of, you know, just innocent people that are her friends that want to hang out with her. Yeah. Because these are people and technically he is her, right? So they are confronting him and challenging him. So it works out.
Yeah, it's just like opportunity, right? Like it's just whoever he ends up being around. I do want to say with the girl, the bully, I was like, what kind of next level fucking high school has a fucking what is this? I was like, that is one thing that threw me way off. I was like, is this even a thing?
I was like, what is this? What is this used for? And he goes, oh, for athletes, like, I guess like a cold bath because the cold is good for the inflammation of your muscles. And I'm like, well, first, this high school looked all but fancy. It looked like a regular all old high school. Nothing about it, not the lockers, nothing about it looked new except for this very expensive, fancy cryo chamber. Yeah. I mean, even when I watch, professional NFL football players after games, they're getting into big ice baths. They're like getting into cryo chambers. Yeah. And then why the hell does it go up that high? If this is like not safe ever,
that seems
why would it
way dangerous to put in.
Would never go that high and put it in a high school with a bunch of teenagers.
Totally. When a bunch of dumb kids who just, everybody does dumb shit when they're a teenager. It's like, you cannot put this in the hands of teenagers and trust them with it, that they're not going to hurt themselves or other people. Yeah, that was a big ol' what the fuck is happening. The other thing that I didn't realize on first watch is that he tells them to go to that mill where he like woke up. I think I didn't realize that. So the first time I was watching, I was like, what the fuck? Where are they? Like, what kind of theme for homecoming is this, dude? Where they like have all this graffiti on the walls and like, at some point he like busts through a wall to like hook that other jock guy who's like assaulting Josh. And I was like, what is happening here? But I didn't realize until this watch that they're at that like rundown ass mill. Yeah. Must have just missed that, overlooked the part where homecoming really did get canceled.
Yeah, that all happened very fast. It was a really quick where she says at the old mill.
Yeah.
And but everyone was planning for this dance. That confused me as well. This seemed like everyone was planning for the homecoming dance. And I didn't remember it getting canceled, but you're right. It got canceled because those kids were killed. So then they're like, let's just have a party at the old mill. Okay. So I just pieced that together right now too.
Yeah. They basically were like, let's just move homecoming to this mill, which just became a big party, I guess. Okay. So I have some just random trivia here. Because this director also did Happy Death Day, he's proposed a crossover movie between them called Freaky Death Day.
I've never seen Happy Death Day, so I need to see that.
I would watch it.
Are you excited? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. If they end up doing it, I feel like it would be funny. I feel like it'd be good because there's really good characters. I feel like in both that would be funny to watch how they interact.
Okay.
For the title, originally it was going to be called Killer Body, and then it was changed to Freaky Friday the 13th. And then it just got shortened to Freaky. I feel like all of those are good titles, though.
Yeah. I wonder if because there was already that Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
With Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan.
I also wondered about, like, can you do this? I mean, you can't, like, copyright an idea, right? So you can't, like, prevent people from using it. But it just is interesting to me that we can take something from those movies and use it. But I guess other movies do it too. Like, you listed a whole bunch of them in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I have some just Easter egg trivia. Number 1 is when Millie, possessed by the butcher, uses a large hook as the murder weapon, it is likely an homage, I learned is how you say that, to the hook killer in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, very cool. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
And now it's very clear.
Yes. Millie Kessler's last name would appear to be a reference to an American Werewolf in London, where the lead character is named David Kessler.
Oh.
And then, as part of the first group of teens to be killed, a couple of their names are Ginny and Sandra, and they were named after characters in Friday the 13th Part 2 from 1981. There also is someone else named Carpenter, something Carpenter, is their name. And so there's just, little Easter eggs and references. Oh, and of course you have the stabbing into the wall and the head tilt from Halloween, which, to be honest, I'm over. I don't want to see it anymore. Leave it out.
The mask has got to be. It was very Jason-esque.
Yeah.
Without being a hockey mask.
Oh, and yeah, they put the Aaron Rodgers mask on him, which is like Halloween-ish, right? With the David or William Shatner.
Yes.
I can't word today. I can't. I'm not even drinking. What the hell? Is that the right name?
William Shatner? Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But that's all I got for trivia because they're, like I said, some of it was just stupid.
That is all I got for how I felt about the movie.
Okay.
My notes are small, and my notes were literally a list of other body swapping movies that I like.
Good to know that this is a trope in movies that you love.
Yes, it is. I have fun with that.
Okay. Are we ready to rate it then?
Yes, we are.
Okay, why don't you kick us off? What are you going to rate this movie?
So, this movie, I am going to rate a 3.4.
Okay.
I'm going to do a 3.4.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on.
We broke the 3.25 streak.
Yes, we did. Yeah, because I did enjoy it for all I don't need to repeat myself. I realize I do that a lot. Y'all know if you just listened to the episode. If you didn't, rewind. I did like it. I think I enjoyed it more than the other ones we've been watching this month. So okay. I'm going to give it a 3.4.
Thanks, Vince Vaughn.
Exactly.
Really pumped up that score. Okay, I'm going to give it a 3.75.
Nice.
Yeah, because just looking at the last couple scores, I feel like I liked it more than Life After Beth, less than Bones and All, definitely less than Fresh and Warm Bodies. But it is fun. It's a fun movie,
You liked it more than Fresh?
No, I liked it less.
Less than Fresh. Sorry, I missed that, and I was like, "Whoa, let's rewind."
Yeah, no.
Let's talk about that.
Can't go up to a 4, so stuck to a 3.75. And I felt like I couldn't give it as much as Tragedy Girls. I feel like Tragedy Girls is kind of similar.
Totally.
But I liked that more.
Oh, wow. I gave Tragedy Girls. What? Okay, all the movies I watched this month, I believe I liked Tragedy Girls more than all of them.
Okay.
So that's something I'm going to have to revisit.
Yeah.
Because
you did rate that pretty low. You get that a 3.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to have a rewatch, and maybe I'll be like, oh yeah, I know why I did that. And not going to have a rescore. All right.
All right.
So next month, I'm sorry, not next month, next episode. Next episode, we don't know yet. It's going to be a patron pick.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So we're going to be posting that. Please do share what horror romance you want us to watch. And we're really excited to find out. So stay tuned. And along those notes, if you are along the same lines, if you like us, please do check us out on Instagram at twochicksandahorrorflick. Or you can go to your favorite social media platform and search for us there. And be on the lookout for that Patreon pick post. That was Pied pepper, pick a peppers. What am I trying to say? Tongue twister. And then just go ahead and put whatever movie you're suggesting in the comments below. What else, Tawny?
You can support the show by giving us a like, review, and subscribe on whatever podcast you're listening to us on. But that's it. So we will see you for our next episode, and we hope you have such a good night. No nightmares.